Ever since she discovered her voice, her life has become one great journey, almost like a modern fairy tale. From a small town in South Africa to the metropolises of the West, from a gospel church choir to the world's opera stages.
Ah, the unmistakable sound of Pretty Yende. She is in the studio with us. The South African and now world-famous operatic soprano with a modern fairy tale story. This weekend, the overseas-based artist is home to release her much-awaited and anticipated debut album, A Journey. The global release is expected September the 16th, and she's here to give us a bit of a scoop, which I'm so happy about. So lovely to see you, Pretty. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. You're wearing my favorite color.
Yeah, bright, and it doesn't get brighter than
Sunshine.
this. I think it was a sign that you were coming into studio. So how is it, firstly, to be sleeping in your own bed? Your old bed?
I cannot wait.
So when did you arrive?
I arrived last week.
Okay.
We did some promotions in Cape Town because I consider Cape Town my first artistic home because of studying at the University of Cape Town. So
Yeah.
I did the promotions there for 2 days, and then I flew up here to Johannesburg. So tonight I'm going to be sleeping at my own bed at home.
It's a nice feeling. You're going to look around a little bit and feel a bit uncomfortable, and then you're going to realize, that sweet smell of where I came from. That is so beautiful. Now, I mean, I think the obvious question is, with having so much under your belt and doing so much, what took so long for Pretty Yende to finally release the CD?
Well, I think the whole point and the whole journey, Pretty Journey, has been so extraordinary because I think it was personal, and I had to take my time in learning about this whole world of opera, the massive big opera world. As a young girl growing up in Piet Retief, I needed to make sure that I was ready to know the ambience so that I can be able to be, a recording artist, because a recording artist and a live performing artist are two different artists.
Yeah.
And so I needed to know that I was ready to be able to put something on a disc. Also because everything that I do is not something that just passes by. It's my virtue. I give my life to each and everything that I do. So I needed to be sure about that, to put that in the disc.
Yeah. Now, the different tracks that are on here and the different songs that you've chosen, I mean, you've done so many. So how did you come to the selection?
It was one of the most challenging things for me and my pretty army.
I can imagine. I can imagine.
Because each and every step along the way has been so special. But we managed to narrow it down to 7 tracks for the album. I decided to open up with my favorite composer, and who has been my lucky charm, Gioacchino Rossini, because at the Metropolitan Opera House, of course, I did the big debut on his Le Comptorie,
Yeah.
but also at La Scala, I sang L'Occasione fa il ladro. He was also the composer.
Yeah.
But then, of course, I could not include the Lacme duet, where the story began, where the journey began, and also highlighting some of the opera competitions that I won at Moscow in Russia, as well as in Belvedere in Vienna.
Wow. So this particular album is a studio-based album. It's not a concert. It's not a live performance. This is proper studio work. I mean, so your voice is given. It's just. I mean, I can imagine. It's just been given that boost. Not that it needs a boost, but it's that beautiful clarity that everybody loves so much.
It was exciting because the whole crew, from the classical, from the orchestra of Rai Torino, the chorus from Piacenza, but also the whole crew, the whole production, to make this a possibility was something that had to be part of me, in a sense that I'm able to relate, that it's not just me and the microphone. So we recorded it in an auditorium in Torino, so in a way it felt like a live performance for me. But of course I had the pleasure of playing with certain sounds and nuances that I was not going to be able to do in a live performance, and that was really equally exciting.
Yeah. So I mean, my first question to you is there going to be a live performance here in South Africa yet, or particularly here in Joburg, where I'm based? That's just a selfish question. Your answer was not yet.
Not yet, but I didn't want to make surprises because I always say, surprise, surprise,
Yes.
I'm making a concert. But I wanted to come home and say, here's the good news. Finally, the CD you've been asking for since I left the country has arrived.
Yes.
But now I am planning a real tour to promote the album, not only in the big cities, but in Johannesburg, Durban, and all the other cities where actually, because I'm the child of the Tirisano Eisteddfold.
Yes.
So I needed to spread the word also because the dream, I always dream the impossible. There are about a few million people in South Africa, and we need a couple of 100,000 just to do the impossible.
Exactly, and the love and the appreciation of opera music really seems to be growing. And I mean, I think we can attribute it a lot to you and people that follow your career and see what you're doing and seeing how you're making waves internationally and globally, and that appreciation that goes into it. Have you noticed that there has been a growth since what you remember and studied back here in South Africa to what it's like now?
Absolutely, it's growing immensely. Each and every second there's a name, a South African name, not only in the country but internationally. Everybody open their ears and embrace us. But the amount of talent that is coming out of South Africa, as I said, it's a huge army of talent going into the opera world, and we are so grateful to be welcomed so warmly into the world stage.
Yeah, you know what's so nice as well is with regard to, I mean, we take something like the SABC that brought in a policy of playing 90% local content, which is so important, because it's music like this that will get out there. It will be played, and if you don't reach the communities far out that only have access to a couple of radio stations that'll never necessarily ever hear this, this is the opportunity to get it out there and even perhaps make dreams of some people living out in a rural village with these beautiful voices a reality.
Absolutely, that was the whole point of me having the dream of having the Pretty Yende Foundation, that if we can have a story like this, which is not a story anymore because it's my life, where I got the chance that my dad had that TV bought and I could see that ad and I just found those 10 seconds that has given us this much. How much more if we were all to go to each and every corner of the world and tell people about this gift, because it's not limited to shape and sizes or color. It's for humanity. It's for us all, and I'm so happy to be part of it.
That's amazing. Just finally, we're running out of time, I know, but you know, in terms of somebody in your with your caliber and the things that you've been doing, I imagine the very first CD which is being released, but to accompany it in this day and age, I mean, a live DVD, is that something that you're looking at doing perhaps with one of the shows that you're planning?
Well, it has always been a journey in one step to the next, and the possibilities are endless. And I'm looking forward to see how we grow along into this new page of my career as a recording artist. I'd like to thank, of course, my record label, a fantastic group of people who have allowed me to express myself and feel free to actually put something like that. And with them joining the Pretty Army, the impossibilities are not so,
and they're endless.
Absolutely.
They're endless, which is so nice. So we can see this is going to be released on the 16th of September.
Yes.
It'll be released and you'll be able to get it everywhere. So obviously this is a week of promoting it, and then the build up to the release.
Absolutely. Global release on the 16th of September, but you can pre-order it already on iTunes.
Fantastic.
And you can listen to a couple of clips over there as well.
That's beautiful.
And your nearest Musica store, you can get a copy.
Oh, you can get a copy already out in CD stores.
From the 16th of
From the
August,
16th.
yes.
So, yeah, you heard it here first. And the great news is I have a CD. I never get this anymore. You know, this is something that nobody ever brings in. I mean, this is a special gift, an actual compact disc, a CD. There you go. It's here. You know, normally musicians just come here and sit there, and it's like, no, just download it. Go to iTunes and download it. But there's nothing quite receiving one of these. Pretty, thank you. Thank you for always coming in and really never forgetting where you come from, because you're based in Milan, and you know, that's I suppose a new journey for you. But you never forget where you come from.
No, the home will always be, my heart will always be at home, because all that I am and all the sunshine that I get to share with the world and the joy I get from home. So home is where the heart is. No matter how well things can go well outside there.
This will be home.
Thank you
so
for having me.
Always a pleasure, Pretty. Always a pleasure. Right, that's Pretty Yende, and she obviously continues to get these amazing reviews wherever she goes around the world. And now the album, The Journey, will most certainly consolidate her place in the world of opera. She's off to New York, and on the 16th, the album launches globally. So go out there and support this amazing artist who truly fills us as South Africans with pride.